In today's video, we're diving into Cardano and predicting how much 5,000 ADA could be worth by the year 2026. Whether you're already holding ADA or you're still on the fence about investing in Cardano, this is a conversation you won't want to miss. With renewed energy in the market and smart contract platforms competing harder than ever, Cardano's long-term potential is back in the spotlight. As of now, ADA is trading at around 70 cents, and that means 5,000 ADA would cost you about $3,500. That's a relatively manageable investment in crypto terms. And more importantly, it opens the door to some pretty interesting upside scenarios if Cardano gains momentum over the next year or two. To get a clearer picture of where ADA could be headed, it helps to understand what Cardano is actually building. Founded by Charles Hoskinson, who also co-founded Ethereum, Cardano was designed to address some of the core challenges in blockchain technology: scalability, sustainability, and interoperability. Unlike many projects that evolve through trial and error, Cardano is built on peer-reviewed academic research. Every major component of the ecosystem has been carefully designed and formally verified before being implemented, which has made the project slower to evolve, but more resilient and structurally sound. A big part of what makes Cardano unique is its layered architecture. The system separates the settlement layer, which handles ADA transactions, from the computation layer, which runs smart contracts and decentralized applications. This allows for more flexibility and better scalability than many single-layer blockchains. Since smart contracts were introduced with the Alonzo upgrade in 2021, the Cardano ecosystem has continued to expand, with a growing number of dApps, decentralized exchanges, NFT platforms, and DeFi projects being launched. Development activity on the network remains strong, with regular upgrades and improvements steadily rolling out through Cardano's roadmap. Looking toward 2026, timing could be everything. The Bitcoin halving that occurred in April 2024 has historically signaled the beginning of a new cycle, and while we're already seeing early market movement in 2025, many believe the real altcoin momentum will build in the following 12 to 18 months. This puts 2026 right in the sweet spot for potential upside. Cardano is also on track to roll out several major upgrades that could significantly boost its utility and competitiveness. One of the most anticipated developments is Hydra, a Layer 2 scaling solution designed to dramatically increase the network's transaction throughput. With full Hydra implementation, Cardano could theoretically handle over 1 million transactions per second, making it not just faster than Ethereum, but potentially one of the most scalable blockchains in the world. Improvements to Cardano's smart contract framework also continue. Plutus, the native smart contract language, has been getting more developer-friendly over time, and tools like Marlowe are making it easier to build financial products on the blockchain without needing to write complex code. These changes aim to lower the barrier to entry for developers and bring more applications to the Cardano ecosystem. Meanwhile, Cardano's focus on real-world adoption remains a key part of its identity. The platform has forged long-term partnerships across Africa and Latin America, working on everything from blockchain-based educational credentials to supply chain tracking and decentralized identity systems. One of the most well-known initiatives is the partnership with Ethiopia's Ministry of Education, where Cardano tech is being used to create secure, blockchain-based ID systems for millions of students and teachers. These are not hype moves, they're infrastructure deployments with real-world impact. All of this adds up to growing demand for ADA, especially if the network continues to gain adoption among developers, institutions, and governments. Now let's run through a few price scenarios to understand what your 5,000 ADA investment could be worth by 2026. Let's start with a conservative outlook. If ADA simply recovers to the $1 level, which would still be below its all-time high, your 5,000 ADA would be worth $5,000. That's a decent return, especially considering the current entry point around 70 cents. It's not life-changing, but it's a realistic target if market conditions improve modestly and Cardano continues its steady development. Now let's say ADA makes a stronger recovery and reclaims its previous all-time high of $3.10. That would value your 5,000 ADA at $15,500, which is a solid 4.4x return on your investment. Considering ADA reached that price in 2021 without the benefit of many of the upgrades and use cases it has today, this isn't an overly aggressive projection. For those with a more bullish view, a target of $5 to $7 is often cited in discussions among long-term Cardano believers. If ADA reaches $5, your 5,000 ADA would be worth $25,000. At $7, that figure climbs to $35,000. This kind of scenario assumes Cardano establishes itself as a leading platform in DeFi, decentralized identity, gaming, and NFT infrastructure, and that the overall crypto market enters another strong growth phase. Now, let's talk about the moonshot scenario. Some in the Cardano community believe that if Cardano captures a significant share of global blockchain use, particularly in enterprise and government sectors, ADA could one day trade for $10 or even $15. If that happens, your 5,000 ADA would be worth between $50,000 and $75,000. That's more than 20 times your original investment. Is that likely? Hard to say. Is it possible in a full-blown crypto supercycle? Absolutely. But we also have to keep things grounded. There are real risks and challenges facing Cardano that could affect these projections. First, there's competition. Ethereum is still the dominant player in smart contracts, and newer chains like Solana, Avalanche, Near, and others are all pushing hard for developer mindshare. Cardano needs to stay ahead on scalability, usability, and ecosystem support to maintain relevance. There's also the issue of perception. Cardano has often been criticized for its slow development pace and overpromising in past cycles. Some investors are still skeptical, especially after periods of underperformance or delays in key upgrades. Shifting that narrative will take continued progress and real, visible results. The macroeconomic and regulatory environment is another wildcard. While 2025 has brought a degree of stability and optimism to markets, global regulation could change quickly. A sudden crackdown or change in policy in major markets like the US or the EU could have broad effects on crypto valuations. At the same time, positive regulatory clarity could open the doors for institutions and push adoption even faster. Despite these challenges, Cardano's long-term vision continues to resonate with a large and dedicated community. The project isn't chasing headlines or rushing features, it's building methodically and laying a foundation for the future. If that approach pays off, and if adoption continues to grow, ADA's current price could look like a major opportunity in hindsight. So, what's the bottom line? At today's price of 70 cents, 5,000 ADA is a relatively low-cost entry point with the potential for meaningful upside. Even in a modest recovery scenario, you could double your investment. In a strong bull market, that same investment could be worth $15,000, $25,000 or more. And in a truly explosive breakout, we're talking about portfolio-level gains. Of course, none of this is financial advice. The crypto space is unpredictable, and big returns come with big risks. Always do your own research, consider your risk tolerance, and never invest more than you're willing to lose. So let us know, do you think Cardano will live up to its potential? Are you holding ADA or thinking of getting in? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this deep dive, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next update. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.